Well, as noted, I was doing the tune-up on the Coleman. It needed a bit of work, so I ordered some parts. They arrived and have I guess they call it the Stage 2 kit, although it didn't come with valve springs, but I do have some. Exhaust, new carb, whole bunch of jets for tuning, and I also bought a torque converter for it. So I have some metal, I have those parts, and we're going to turn the Coleman into a pretty competent little mini bike, I think. So yeah, should be fun. So I've been working on this a little bit. Got everything taken off that needs to be removed to get the engine off. It's just sitting in there now with friction. So yeah, I'm going to take that out. The plan is to remove the governor, put in heavier springs, and then put that back on with all the performance parts. I want to use this engine because it's got all the wiring. I want to use this engine because it has all the wiring for the kill switch and the lights and everything. I could switch it over, but it just seems like kind of a pain. It's honestly more enjoyable for me, I guess, to pull it apart and pull the governor out than to fiddle around with the wiring. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, this is just, like I said, sitting in here. So going to get it up on the bench and start going. Well, after I cut the governor arm off, I tapped the hole and then threaded in a bolt with Loctite and an O-ring on it. Keep all the oil in. I pulled off all the governor bits inside that shaft. It's important to note that there's usually a washer behind the plastic piece you pull off. Absolutely got to get that out. Then you want to clean everything out. Looks like there's shiny bits in there, but that is just liquid. Sprayed it out with brake clean and compressed air. Everything is good to go back together. I was going to replace the valve springs in the cylinder head, but I cannot find the extra pair I ordered, so I'm not going to do that for now. It's easy enough to do, after the fact. So yeah, I guess we're going to put everything back together, and then we'll start getting the torque converter fitted up to this. This is what came in the kit. I mean, it is what it is. It's all cheap kind of knockoff stuff, but the price is right. I've used them before. They all work. Everything's, fine. Maybe it just won't last 30 or 40 years. Anyhow, it's going to make this bike a whole lot of fun, so I'm going to put it on. Well, everything's back together now. Got the new carb on with the manifold. Hardware was a bit of a pain in the butt. The exhaust pipe looks nice. I like that they have the muffler on it. I can take it off if I want, whatever, more power. But I have just the straight pipe on another bike and it's pretty loud. Ended up having to reuse the clutch setup and jack shaft from the original. It turns out this is a 5/8 shaft engine, which I wasn't aware of. Could have checked, I suppose, but I didn't. Anyhow, just not going to work. I bought an adapter, but still the shaft is significantly shorter, and so there's not really a whole lot holding it on. I don't want it to fly off at speed. So we're going to go with this for now. Anyway, all this stuff fit pretty well. The kit still has some pieces left, but it's stuff either I didn't need, like the exhaust gasket, or stuff that'll go on later, the jets for tuning, and then the air filter and, inline filters. But yeah, it's all together. I think it's just about time to plop it back on the bike and hook everything back up. Well, it's all back together. Everything starts up. I've turned it over, got the carb sort of dialed in a bit. Exhaust sounds good. Everything went back on quite nicely. I mean, these kits work on any kind of Honda clone engine. I believe this brand is Hisun. That's what came on the Coleman BT200X when I bought it in 2020. I removed the governor, put on a carb. I increased the main jet to 125 size. That's what I did on the other 212, and it ran pretty good with that, so I figured that's a good starting point. There's no exhaust leaks that I can tell of. Fuel system's plumbed in. There's a bit of an uphill run at the end, so hopefully I don't have trouble with that. Actually does look like I am having trouble with that. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Little details. But yeah, everything seems to work well, so time to take it out for a bit of a ride.